Now I want to talk about how generational curses are formed or forged. Okay. Oftentimes they stem from the parents. Okay. Stem from the parents being in sin. Okay. Being in the flesh. Okay. So I'll use my life as an example. So I had an abortion when I was younger. I was in an abusive relationship with a Haitian dude. And I wound up conceiving. I was like about 15, 6, no, I want to say the summer of maybe 11th grade. And I had an abortion. And the reason why I had an abortion is because I was in an abusive relationship. I was getting beat up. The dude, he was obsessive, compulsive. Okay, he was possessive. He controlled me. I couldn't do anything. Okay, and what happened is that I wound up having an abortion because I looked at it from a spiritual standpoint as well as where I was in my life. I was a child myself. But I knew from all this dysfunction and turmoil, I could not raise a child up in that kind of environment. Well, come to find out, I didn't know that there was spiritual ramifications that would have went along with me giving birth to that child. I would have given birth to a child out of sin. All that stuff is demonic, possessive, controlling, obsessive. All that stuff come from a demon. That stuff don't come from God. And so I would have given birth to sin. And that generation would have been cursed. Because I knew nothing about training up your child in the way that they should go. And, you know, when he is old, he will not depart from it. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is we got to make sure that child gives their life over to Christ if they want to belong to Christ and go to heaven. It's a choice. Everybody have to make this choice. But when you're born of the flesh. You're born from sin, shaped in iniquity. And this is what gives way to generational curses until somebody in that bloodline stands up and gives their life to Christ. Then it can make way for that bloodline and that curse to be severed and for everybody to choose Jesus. Because there won't be no more lies running through that bloodline because somebody stood for the truth. You understand? This is how we debunk Satan, by standing for truth. Okay? Now, the other side of it happens when you, like I stated, when you're involved in, when you've made a covenant with the devil. Witchcraft, whatever the case might be, magic spells, whatever the case, voodoo, whatever the case it is. When you made a covenant with the devil, you made a covenant to give all the following generations to Satan. So now in that case, they don't have a choice. You already chose for them. All right, so that's why I say a lot of the sin starts, the curses, they come from the parents and what the parents chose, what they got in covenant with, and they never did change or correct. It travels down to your child. This what happened to me. I got introduced to witchcraft, and I'm doing tarot cards, spells, rituals, magic, all this stuff, and I wind up getting attacked, and I ran back to God. Because see, I was trained up in the way that a child should go. See? But it was still, ultimately, you still got to make a decision. God give us all free will. Some of us he chose. I was chosen. Okay? Prophets are born. You know? They're not created or ordained. All right? So this is how generational curses are formed. You guys, be blessed.